Listen to me. I need you locked in from the first second, because this right here is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about somebody giving you a shot. This is about standards. This is about how you wake up, how you breathe, how you move, how you operate when nobody's watching. I'm talking about the stuff you do when there's no applause, no scoreboard, no coach yelling in your ear. I'm talking about that quiet moment when it's just you and your choices. And those choices are going to decide what your life looks like at 30, 40, 50, and beyond. Some of you walking around like you've got forever, like time owes you something. You better hear me loud and clear. You don't get forever. You might feel young today, you might feel strong today, but life is moving whether you move with it or not. You blink and you're 20. You blink again and you're 30. You blink again. And you're staring at the results of decisions you made a decade ago. And if you don't set a standard right now, life will set one for you. And you're not gonna like that standard. I've seen too many talented people fall off because they thought talent was enough. They thought being gifted was enough. They thought being on top today guaranteed they'd be on top tomorrow. No, the world is full of people who had potential and wasted it because they didn't have a standard. You know what separates the ones who stay on top? They decide every single day what level they're going to operate on, and they refuse to drop below it. Non-negotiable, no excuses, no shortcuts. I've watched people with everything going for them lose it all because their standards were low. I've seen people blow millions because they let the wrong people influence their decisions. I've seen people sabotage their future because they kept living like tomorrow was promised. And I've seen people with nothing climb to the top because they set one standard and refused to break it. When you set a standard, you stop asking what you can get away with and start asking what greatness requires. When you set a standard, you stop waiting for motivation and start moving with discipline. When you set a standard, you stop talking about what you want and start living like you deserve it. When you set a standard, you stop repeating the cycles of your past and create a new future for yourself. Some of you grew up around average. Some of you grew up around chaos. Some of you grew up seeing people give up, quit early, fold under pressure. But that doesn't have to be your story. You get to draw the line. You get to say, this is who I am now. This is how I live now. This is what my life is going to look like. Not because you got lucky, not because somebody saved you, but because you chose to set a standard that demands excellence from you every single day. And don't get it twisted, setting a standard isn't supposed to feel comfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to make you look at your habits, your circle, your decisions, and ask, does this match the future I say I want? Because if it doesn't, it has to go. If it doesn't, it's holding you back. If it doesn't, it's killing your potential. This is your moment right here to decide what kind of person you're going to be. This is your moment to look at your life and declare, I'm done being average. I'm done being inconsistent. I'm done talking about greatness. I'm ready to live it. Because once you set a standard, once you lock in, once you make it non-negotiable, everything in your life begins to shift. Not because life gets easier, but because you get better. Listen to me right now. Most of y'all are out here chasing goals like there's some magical finish line that once you cross, life's gonna change. Let me tell you something, real goals are just targets. Goals are just numbers. Goals don't make you great. What makes you great is the standard you set for yourself every single day. You see, if your standard is mediocre, if your standard is average, then it doesn't matter how big your goals are, you will never reach them the way you imagine. It's the standard that fuels consistency. It's the standard that pushes you to wake up at 3 a.m. when everybody else is sleeping. It's the standard that keeps you grinding when the crowd says, rest. You don't rise to your goals because your goals don't have legs. Your standards have legs. Your standards get you moving when nobody's watching. Your standards hold you accountable when nobody else is there to judge you. That's why champions don't settle for good enough. That's why the best in the world don't just show up. They demand excellence from themselves before anyone else can demand it from them. You think Steph Curry got to where he is by just showing up and hoping shots fall? No, he set a standard in the gym. Making shots in practice is no longer enough. He raised the bar. He challenged himself to be better than yesterday, every single day, because he knew his goal wasn't enough. It was the standard he lived by that made him unstoppable. So I want you to look in the mirror right now and ask yourself, what is my standard? And don't just think about it. Write it down, live it, and breathe it. Stop chasing goals and start elevating your standard, because your standard is what defines the life you will live. Your standard is the invisible line that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. The world is full of dreamers, full of people who chase goals, but only the few who set and enforce a standard become legends. You want to know why some people fail even though they have talent? Because their standard is weak, because they settle, because they believe effort is enough. Effort ain't enough. Desire ain't enough. You rise to your standard, period. That's why if you want to be great, you have to stop measuring success by goals alone and start measuring it by the level of standard you demand from yourself every single day. It's not about trying hard, it's about being relentless about what you will accept in your life and what you won't accept. Set a standard so high that it scares you, so high that it forces you to grow every day, so high that nobody can match it but you. That is what creates greatness. That is what creates champions. That is what makes you unbreakable. Listen closely, because this is where most people fall short. You see, your life is a mirror. Whatever you're willing to tolerate, whatever you're willing to accept, that's exactly what your life will reflect back at you. You can't expect to be living a life of abundance if you're comfortable with mediocrity. You can't expect to be surrounded by champions if you're only willing to put in half the work. Your life is literally a reflection of your standards. Line you draw for yourself about what you will and won't accept. Let me tell you something. This is where most people fail. They set their expectations too low. They settle for good enough and wonder why their results are average. But champions? Champions demand excellence from themselves every single day. It doesn't matter if nobody else is watching. It doesn't matter if the world isn't giving you applause. Your life will mirror the standards you enforce in private, the sacrifices you make, the discipline you show, the consistency you bring to your craft. Those are the things that determine the reflection you see. You think, the person at the top got there by chance? No, they demanded more from themselves than anyone else could ever demand. They refused to be satisfied with average. They refused to accept excuses. Every choice, every action, every moment is a declaration of the standard you live by. This is why people talk about hard work like it's magic. It's not magic, it's standard. It's showing up when others sleep. It's grinding when others quit. It's staying faithful to the process even when the results haven't shown up yet. Your life will never rise above the expectations you place on yourself. If you want more, you have to demand more. If you want better, you have to demand better. And that demand starts inside. It starts when you refuse to tolerate distractions, when you refuse to settle for less, when you refuse to let circumstance dictate your life. You have to create a personal code of standard that every action, every decision, every moment is measured against. That is the power of your life reflecting the standard you hold yourself to. You are literally building a life based on the expectations you set. If your standards are low, your life will be low. If your standards are high, your life will reflect greatness. Your family, your finances, your health, your relationships, all of it is a reflection of the level you demand from yourself. So right now I want you to stop blaming luck, stop blaming timing, stop blaming circumstances. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I demanding of myself? How high is my standard? Because your life will always, without exception, reflect what you are willing to enforce for yourself every single day. It's not about talent, it's not about opportunity. It's about the uncompromising standard you set for your own life, and how you refuse to accept anything less than that standard. Let me be clear with you, because this is where most people get it twisted. You cannot separate today from tomorrow. The decisions you make right now, the choices you make when nobody is watching, when it's just you against your own excuses, those are the things that determine how your future unfolds. You see, it's easy to think, I'll worry about the future later, I've got time. But let me tell you something, time doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your feelings, it only moves forward. Every single action, every single choice, builds the blueprint of the life you will live 10, 20, 30 years from now. This is why champions take their decisions seriously. They understand that the person they become at 30 is already being shaped by the decisions they make at 20. The person they are at 40 is already being built by the choices they make today. You can't play small in the present and expect to live large in the future. That's not how it works. The truth is, your life is a compound result of the decisions you make, the habits you form, and the standards you enforce now. Every time you choose to stay disciplined, every time you choose to work when it's inconvenient, every time you choose to rise above laziness and mediocrity, you are laying bricks for your future life. Conversely, every time you take the easy way, every time you make excuses, every time you settle for less than your potential, you are setting your future self up for struggle. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. The principle is the same. Your future life is being built by your present decisions. And this is why most people fail. They underestimate the power of a single choice. They ignore the ripple effect. They don't realize that missing one practice, one opportunity, one moment to push themselves adds up over time. One decision compounds into another, and before you know it, you're living a life that's far below what you could have achieved. But here's the beautiful part: you can change that today. You can start making intentional decisions that align with the life you want to live. You can start planting seeds that will bear fruit decades from now. It's not about luck, it's not about timing. It's about being deliberate with your choices, being strategic with your actions, and understanding the long-term impact of the smallest things. You have to understand that your 30s, 40s, and 50s are not going to just magically appear. They are the result of what you choose today. You have to take ownership, be accountable, and make decisions like the person you want to become is watching. Because that person is already being created. You are not living by chance, you are living by choice. And the life you have tomorrow is the direct reflection of the decisions you enforce today. Listen to me. Because this is the part that will either make you or break you. Everybody talks about effort. Everybody loves the idea of trying. Everybody wants to be seen grinding, hustling, working hard. But here's the reality. Effort is invisible unless it's converted into results. Effort without execution is like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. You might think you're doing something, you might feel proud, but at the end of the day, nothing changes unless you execute. Champions understand that execution is the bridge between dreams and reality. You can have all the talent in the world, all the skills, all the ideas, all the plans, but if you don't execute, you're stuck where you are. You want to be elite? You want to be unstoppable? You want to leave a mark that nobody else can erase? Then you have to stop celebrating your effort and start perfecting your execution. Execution doesn't care how tired you are. It doesn't care how much you tried yesterday. It doesn't care how many hours you put in. It cares about the results you create. Every day, when you step on the field, when you walk into the office, when you start your project, you have to ask yourself, am I executing at a level that guarantees success, or am I just trying? And I'll tell you something else. Execution is a habit. It's a lifestyle. It's what you do when nobody's watching, when no one is judging you, when no one will even know that you tried. Because at the end of the day, results don't care about your effort. They care about what you produce. You can practice all you want, you can plan all you want, you can talk all you want, but if you don't execute, if you don't finish, if you don't close the deal, if you don't score the points, if you don't show the world what you're capable of, you are no different than the person who never tried. Execution is about finishing. Execution is about pushing past the moment when everyone else gives up. Execution is about showing up consistently and doing what others won't do. Not because you have to, but because you refuse to accept mediocrity. This is why some people stay average their whole lives. They love to talk about their effort, but they hate to execute. And this is why champions dominate. They show up, they finish, they produce. They leave no loose ends. So I'm telling you right now, you have to make a decision. Are you going to be the person who just tries, or are you going to be the person who executes? Because the world doesn't reward the ones who try. It rewards the ones who deliver. The difference between average and elite is not in how hard you try, it's in how much you execute, how much you push through, how much you finish what you started, how much you get it done when no one else will. And that's how you separate yourself from everyone else.